with BioShock.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is BloodThunder. I'm back for another GDQ appearance. This is my number 16 in my history.
Damn.
So glad to be back. We get to show off BioShock once again. And, I'm pretty excited. So don't blink or you'll miss it. All right, we're already at the credits. We're good. But,
Perfect.
A lot of people know me from my streams and just GDQs over the years, so this look doesn't feel right. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, nice.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes, that is the classic BT. Yep.
That feels so much better. You guys ready to go?
We're ready.
We've got some little sisters to save. So we actually start this game from a save file on the crash site, so it skips the intro. So time starts right after we load in.
Good luck, BT.
Thank you. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Woo!
All right, let's go.
And we're off. Making good progress already. We're just gonna swim through this fire real quick. You know, a little skip, a little damage. It's all right. And we get this beautiful scenery of a lighthouse. There's always a lighthouse, always a man, always a speedrun. So yeah, we're just gonna casually make our way in here, and we don't have too much to do in the opening, so we'll have some fun stuff coming up. But a couple things to get out of the way. You may realize as we go on, you may have some questions. This is the original version of BioShock and not the remastered. The remastered actually fixed a lot of the stuff we use in the run. We also play on easy because the damage on hard, if you try to just run through it, is pretty insane. So we're just gonna make our way through the dark down here and get to our first little skip. One of the greatest openings to a game ever, so.
The greatest, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So we're just gonna jump out of the bathysphere as we hit the lever, and that's gonna put us on top. So right now we're outside of it, which you can't move, you can't do anything, but it does save us 2 seconds, and I'll explain that when we get to the end. But because we have a moment, and it's kind of a GDQ tradition, I think, to get a selfie with the couch.
Let's do it, dude.
Sounds good.
So most people just take a selfie with the couch,
Oh.
but they don't get the host in. Everyone loves Mr. Covert Muffin, so
Yes.
please come on over here.
All right.
Yay.
All right, backup couch, you gotta make some noise, you're on there too. All right, I think that's good enough.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muffin. So now Andrew Ryan's going on his little spiel, and you're supposed to have a little cinematic, but yeah, we just get this little view of some fish just
Nice
hanging
fish.
out.
They're just vibing.
Yeah. Call of Duty Ghost hadn't come out yet, so they can't actually move. Yeah, we also have some crabs and a squid over here just chilling out, you know. It's a little late for them. So one really cool thing about being outside the bathysphere here is that not only do you get to see all these wonderful aquatic sea creatures, but you get to see the parts of Rapture that actually aren't finished at all. Like over here, it's just like, we'll get to this eventually.
Yeah.
You know, the giant holes isn't a problem for flooding or anything. And this actually takes place right next to Bikini Bottom. It's right here we have Handsome Squidward.
That does look exactly like Handsome Squidward. You weren't joking.
No. And then everyone's favorite whale, Echo. It's Echo the whale.
Hi, Echo.
It's gonna cruise in and say hello. You get hit with that music.
I wish I remember how Dory talked to whales now. I feel like we should be doing that.
Yeah, Covert. I know you did some voices for Doom. Do you do a Dory whale song voice? Would you kindly?
Covert's doing this.
Come on, man. People are. If someone donates for it, he'll do it. I promise you that.
Put him on the spot.
I mean, I can make whale noises, but I don't know.
All right. Good enough. Someone donate like $5 and he'll do it, I swear. So the reason we save time is because going into that the load trigger to start the next map, you have to actually dock and then it starts raising up. But because we're on top of it, we don't have to wait at all. So now we're loading into Welcome to Rapture, and we get to meet one of my favorite characters in the entire BioShock franchise, Mr. Johnny.
Poor Johnny.
He has such a small arc, but it's perfect. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if Cloud Chamber, who's making the next BioShock, is out there watching and listening and wants story ideas, just bring back Johnny, you know?
Good idea.
A little death gurgle right there.
Yeah, what if the game with Johnny ended right here? You know?
I mean, it probably should.
Yeah.
But this is also a horror game. It wasn't in the horror block with Night Cry run by Guys, also, I didn't introduce my couch, so if you guys want to just say who you are. And,
Hi, I'm Jamaican Bacon.
Hi, I'm Brian Otto. This is my favorite game of all time.
I'm McDices.
So now this place is going to try to get in here, but does not do a great job.
It's a good thing you're not still on top of the bathysphere.
Yeah, it's perfect, you know. Just can't get damaged.
We just like snuck back in at one point.
So a weird thing's been happening that I didn't realize had happened before. We'll see if it happens today. So normally Splicer just runs off, but sometimes she'll just fade. I don't know why it's happening, but it does. So.
Would you say that's never happened before?
I mean, not in the marathon setting. So.
Okay, there you go.
So now we picked up the radio. We meet Atlas, the
guy.
Yeah, the guy.
He's here to help us.
He's really nice. He says, "Would you kindly" a lot, which, you know, I think everyone should start doing. So if you guys would kindly donate, that'd be...
Yeah.
help us get the 2 mil by the end of this run, maybe? Is that asking for too much? All right, so we're just going to make our way through Rapture. We're going to pick up some weapons here, and then we're going to go straight into a very crazy trick that everyone always asks about, so I'm going to do my best to explain it. And if not, maybe someone on the couch will help me out. But we're going to get over this pile of rubble. Now we have to wait for Manassius to pick up a wrench. So we're actually going to jump into the very left side of this couch to try to manipulate the Splicer to come closer, and he didn't, so that's cool. And the reason we need him to come closer is because once he dies, this debris just falls out of the way. So this is the trick. We're going to hit save, and while it's saving, we're going to hit use and the menu at the same time, so it buffers them to go on the first frame. And once we've done that, we can make a save. And the reason we're doing all of this, and we're going to hit another pause menu so we can load it. The game right now wants to put us into the cutscene for Electrobolt because it needs to be in this very specific spot so you fall down. But because we did a save load, we can actually gain the ability to jump back, which, because it wants to pull you into that cutscene, it takes away your ability to jump because once you're in air, it can't actually pull you to that spot. So by just jumping away, we can run away.
Do you bind scroll wheel to jump for this at all?
I do. So
okay.
you can get through with just hitting space, but it just makes it a little bit nicer to do it with scroll wheel.
Was that like clap-worthy trick, by the way?
And this...
I mean, you can clap if you want to.
I'm down.
I'll take it. At any moment in the run you want to clap for some reason, just go for it. You just have a little itch.
Woo! Yeah! BioShock, dude!
So currently, this is also allowing him to skip the intro cutscene where you get Electrobolt, and you can't actually proceed that normally without Electrobolt. So he just kind of has it, and you don't see the little sister walk up to you, and you don't see the big daddy there.
Yeah, there's a pretty long cutscene. A lot of people ask, does this actually save time?
That cutscene is very long.
This is a little tricky to get in because your head just needs to bash there. Now we have art time, so we're just going to draw a pretty picture while we have a moment. This is Pictionary, so if you know what it is, just go ahead and yell it out.
It's a little dark.
It's a dog.
No.
Is he a dog?
Maybe. Is it Johnny?
It's what I view Johnny in my heart.
Okay. I actually couldn't tell what it was.
Nobody can.
It's an original BloodThunder, that's what it is.
Is it a banana taped to a wall?
You tape bananas to walls? I know we're roommates, but that's a little weird. So we're going to grab this pistol out of the baby carriage and try to get around. So this is kind of hard because anytime you touch the floor, or if you happen to run into something like this party hat, the game will pull you back. So if I just stop moving together, they just go into the wall.
It's also pulling him in the direction of the original cutscene.
Yeah, not just backwards. So once we go in here, we're going to do another save load because we actually get stuck to this wall. And it kind of happens to break the next cutscene as well.
Rad.
So Atlas is going to come in and be like, hey, would you kindly put away your weapons and watch this cutscene? And we just say no.
I really like incorporating the slide into the movement. That's cool. Or into the movement forward.
I mean, if you have to go that way, you might as well. There's really no reason to jump away.
Yeah.
But now we have to do some combat, which becomes really annoying. So we have to jump around the whole time. So once we go down here, we need to kill off a couple waves of splicers. So these guys are easy. It's a little shock. And we need to hit this trigger.
Ooh.
And then this is the hard one. So we missed the first shot, it just runs away. There we go.
Good shot.
Nice shot, dude. Let's clap for that. Yeah.
I have a little practice. trying not to go overestimate, you know. All right, so now we need to wait for 2 more splashes to come down, and as soon as that's over, we can proceed on. So would you kindly read a donation, Muffin?
Certainly. Well, there are a lot of whale noise donations.
Yeah.
We'll start off with a $250 donation from Ariel. That says, "Hello, AGDQ. I will donate another $250 if Muffin reads the next 5 donations in whale voice."
What have you done?
We actually did a trick while Muffin was doing that. Yeah, so there's just a bug that was left on that door in development where you can just shock it and it'll open. This little hack here will always be the same for us, so we can just kind of nice little simple hack there. Now we're in medical, probably the hardest area to get through perfectly. So we'll see how it goes. This is where Dr. Steinman does all his surgeries, and if you've played this game, he's a very creepy and delusional man. We're going to come up here and activate a couple levers, grab the machine gun, and proceed onward. This is where we get the 2 plasmids that we're going to use for the entire run. Sadly, we don't get the bees. I know everyone loves the bees, but okay, is that what people are going to yell now? Right, so now we're actually into medical proper. We're going to pick up a few more supplies along the way, and we're going to make our way to the internal flame, which is where I can't even think of what it's called. All right, Brian, you're here for lore, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm the lore guy. Yeah, there's incinerate in here. That's what's in here. Yeah.
Good lore.
There, that's lore. Yeah. Clapping for BioShock lore is probably the best lore you could clap for.
It's pretty good lore.
Yep.
All right, so now we have incinerate. We can just burn everything to a crisp. Like I got. So the reason we're even bothering to deal with those splices is we need to come back through here, and when we do, we actually don't want them following us at all, although they like to just kind of hang around. So we're going to pick up a diary, which we'll explain much later. A lot of the run actually ends up being setups for stuff we'll talk about later, so we're going to grab telekinesis and get rid of electrical. And our plasmids are now set for the rest of the run. This is all we need.
Wow.
We get a couple more weapons, but that's about it. Telekinesis, if you haven't seen a speedrun before, is an extremely broken plasmid. Splicers just die in one shot. So.
Yeah, and it uses like no Eve whatsoever.
Right, correct. So now we have telekinesis, we can go activate the Steinman cutscene. We're gonna do what's known as a fling. So we're gonna grab a box, and this is a trick that requires high FPS, so the higher the better. These PCs actually have really high FPS for BioShock, so this could get a little messy. But we're just gonna jump, use telekinesis, and die. So yeah, that's a little higher than I have at home, but yeah, it's clap for that, yeah. Dying is pretty good.
Okay, so was the death intentional?
No, that was not.
Okay. Well, we clapped for it anyway. Yeah.
It was a good fling, though.
Yeah, so you usually like hit the top of that wall and then you can fall down without taking too much damage. But because these PCs are a little too good, thanks.
Typically, you're looking for around like 300 to maybe 600 tops. 1,000 is a little overkill.
Yeah, and these are i9 2080 PCs running a game that came out. It was like 2000. Well, I should know this. I'm the lore guy. It was 2007, right?
It was 2007. You studied it very well. So we shoot this little robot down. It opens the gate early. We might get a boost here. Nope. All right. So medical's not going terribly great for us so far, but as long as we get this, I'll be happy.
The general idea here is that he's going to hit Steinman with his bullets. If he does, he can actually interrupt the entire speech he gives here about being beautiful.
Yeah, it requires pretty precise timing and aiming, and sometimes things just go flying off. So you could just get the gates open a little sooner. Hey, we get to listen to them talk.
It didn't look like the object went in the direction of the crosshair anyway. It was weird.
Yeah, it's a little.
Oh, hello.
Oh, the ammo box is a lot more straightforward with the throw, while the trash can will just bounce everywhere and hopefully hit him.
So the reason we have to kill him is to get the key off of his body, which opens up the exit. now we're just going to stand in a very particular corner because this will activate a respawn glitch when we die. Respawn glitch means, well, we died before, so it probably actually won't work. We skip this little animation. And the whole trick with the fling before is to actually skip this fighter chamber so we can do one less death warp. But essentially now we're going to keep using Incinerate to actually die so that we can go back to different Vita chambers and get earlier in the level. So now that that's explained, would you kindly read some more donations, please?
Certainly, we have lots of love coming in for this run, man. We have $20 from Mott that says, "Well, noises."
Doesn't get old.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and like take these out really fast. We have $5 from Gereisen that says, "Let's hear some wonderful whale noises." And then we also have $100 from BMAC that says, "He asked so nicely." And $5 from Stevis Rad that says, $5 for whale noise? You've got yourself a deal, fellow.
I'm so sorry. All right, we're out of medical, the hardest part, so the rest of the run should be nice and easy. Going into Neptune's bounty, things aren't as crazy and delusional, but we do have Peach to get through. The game kind of throws a couple bosses at you real early, and not really too tough. So now that we have the diary, that becomes very, very useful in Neptune's bounty here. But we're going to pick up some supplies and get ready to take on a big daddy. So we need to kill this one off. Do some barrels and then just gun it down.
Wow. Yeah, they get shredded pretty quickly on easy.
So we're actually going to rescue her. We're not going to harvest. And we don't do this for the Atom. The only reason we save is because it's a faster animation. This actually allows a different trick to work, and I don't know why. I don't think anyone really does.
So the splicer in the room coming up, their hitbox is already loaded in the ceiling here.
So we're going to try to hit the splicer, and then if we can, hit it again. Okay.
Nice.
So there's two different ways that can go. If you get both hits, then the quest to go get pictures for Peach activates almost instantly. But because we only got one, we can go for this little backup fling, so if this one kills us or not. Unfortunately, we have to use a barrel for this, and this barrel's like the roll. Okay.
And currently the gate hasn't actually opened for him to just walk to it.
Nice.
Very nice flying.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, those the barrels are always really hard to place down the right time because being in the wrong spot. Like BloodThunder mentioned, they can roll away, but that was really good.
They really like the roll, so I'm surprised that went as well as it did. So now we're on the quest to go get a camera and take some research photos for Peach. You know, he likes researching splicers. I don't know what he's researching. There's a little trick if we get super lucky. I mean, incredibly lucky. We can get.
Oh,
hello?
This game does have a little bit of lag here and there, and it always finds the worst moments to pop up, so things skip like that, it's not a big deal. So we have to get 3 pictures of spider splicers, and we just got one up in that room. We're on.
I remember this always being like one of the hardest parts casually because you had to like go deep into these areas, but might be a little bit different in the speedrun.
Yeah.
Yeah, BioShock really likes to show you what you have to do and then like hide it away behind different quests. So these splicers are right at the entrances, and you're not supposed to have the camera out and know they're there. So it's like, oh hey, here's a spider splicer.
Nice.
Go follow him.
Yep, that's the entire mission.
So now we can go back. We need to watch our health a little bit because we do generally want to use death warps to get around. A little safe. But you need to die in certain spots to go where you need to. And always stacked incinerates. So Atlas is just talking about stuff that we don't care about.
I care about it, CT.
He's the lore master.
So now that we have the diaries and we're going to try to go into the fisheries, we're just going to open up our menu real quick, play a diary that we've picked up. We can skip over the radio messages because there's actually 2 different types of dialogue. There's radio messages, which are the different NPCs talking in the area. And then the game's like, oh, this is important, you should listen to it. And then there's diaries, which are the extra lore, Brian Otto's favorite stuff. And those aren't so important, so...
It's a cool strat, though.
Yeah. There's actually some other properties that we'll get into later. So we did a little trick there to keep the grenade launcher a little early. All right, so we can do that. Just trying to advance the dialogue a little bit. And the reason that we keep the grenade launcher is because once you get your weapons back after this fight, the game gives you a very small amount of ammo for each weapon. It's like, oh, hey, here's just a general amount that we think you should have. And we actually want more grenades than that, so we keep the grenade launcher going into his place. And yeah, that was the boss fight down.
Yeah.
I also love how it just gives you the shotgun.
Yeah. I was wondering when we were going to pick it up in the run, because you obviously skipped that long segment back in medical.
Yeah.
It just decides to give it to you.
Yeah, the game's just like, oh, these are things that you probably should have at this point. So yeah, that's whole Neptune's Bounty. Going the Smuggler's Hideout, very easy stage. Very quick one, too.
Is the shotgun useful on the speedrun?
All the weapons are sort of useful if there's splicers around. Generally, if like you throw a body into a different splicer and it doesn't kill it, it's like, all right, I'm just going to finish it off with a couple rounds. And we're actually going to jump through this water, because you go like 90% speed. You're just walking through here. Try to get a little boost off this rock, see how it has to work. Nope.
Oh.
It did boost.
Maybe later.
A little baby boost.
The boosts are a little finicky. Sometimes there's boosts we'll get into later that we actually try to set up and go for. There are some that you can just get. We tried one back in medical and it didn't work. So don't know if we'll get them today.
Not to mention with that hill, it weirdly just slows down your speed if you try walking up it. So ideally you either want to jump or get the boost, as you saw there.
So we're going to do something very much like the Electric Bolt cutscene we did before. So we're going to get this to a U state. We're going to hit quick save. And while it's saving, we're going to hit use and then hold back. Tries to get, there we go. So it's buffering an input of use and back on the same frame. So as soon as we can play again, it's like, all right, you can just start walking.
So can you like get close to Atlas down here?
We can.
No.
But first we need to just kind of throw this over there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Here's Atlas.
I'm happy we saved his family.
Yeah.
Moira.
We're saving the little sisters. The family...
Who could have done this?
So, here's where diaries come into play. So right now we hit a whole bunch of NPC dialogues or just radio messages, and the game's like, oh, it's important, you should listen to it because it's lore. But if we just play a diary on top of it, it's like, that's not important, so you can just end the level.
I'm dying.
And now we're in
So
Arcadia.
sad right now, dude.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure it's okay.
Yeah, things get a little tricky in Arcadia.
Can't believe you actually blow up the sub.
It'll blow up on its own. It's just kind of nice to time it that way.
It wasn't us.
Oh,
It says
okay.
right there, it
you
was
just
Brian.
timed it. Okay, I thought like it actually did that because you threw it at it. Okay.
I have a lot of experience timing that way. So we're going to break this and grab this box. So we're going to set up a couple of different flings. This box is a little nice to us, so let's see what happens. Drop this here. A little too far.
So Arcadia gets a bit weird in the speedrun.
Yeah, so we're going to go in here and start grabbing some more photos because we like to research. So I'm going to grab a couple photos off this thuggish splicer.
Which gives you a damage bonus.
Yes, it will give us a tonic here in just a second as well, which is what we're really after. So splicer gets just dies. Don't know how.
I always love this fight here with the Splicer and Big Daddy, like just ready to like gear up with that one.
So here's another thuggish splicer that we get a sports boost off.
Nice.
Which is that box back. It is wrench speed, movement increase. You can swing it a little faster, and also movement speed increase, which is kind of nice for us as we like to run fast.
I would imagine that builds up a lot over the course of the run.
Yeah, but you can also get sports boost too, but the time to get it isn't necessarily worth it. So we need to be really careful. Where is this bench? Where am I? Okay.
There we go.
So I'm being very careful not to look to the left or go too far left, because there is a trigger that starts the tree line quest.
Oh.
We have to go and make the Lazarus vector. Go to Farmer's Market, which is where the bees are. So we're going to save in case I happen to hit that or we happen to die. So we're just going to try to fling over it, which that looks pretty good.
Does it have you? Almost.
So as long as we don't hear
He's in.
that noise, we're good. So,
Are you
first
good?
Arcadia.
Oh, cool. Nice, dude.
I like how you left them, like, you poisoned the area after you left.
I like to hear that lore, man, every now and then. So we're basically going to do the exact same thing in Fort Frolic. I know everyone loves it. It's a great stage. Sander Cohen's a great character, but Yeah, we don't have time for that. So would you kindly read a couple more donations?
Yeah, certainly. We have the follow-up $250 donation from Ariel.
Hell yeah.
That says, I think we can all agree that was very well done, Muffin.
Nice.
We also have $10 from Random Pink Bunny that says, hey BT, good luck on the run and thanks for leading the Cabbage Patch. P.S. Thor's the best. XOXO RPB.
Yo, thank you so much, RPB. So right here, we're actually going to hit a lever that we can't see, although it's still loaded in, so as long as you can find it.
Is there any risk of like falling down here?
If you fall off the sides, there is, but just falling down there, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, the bathysphere goes up, and it's like, oh, you have to go deal with Sander Cohen, and then you get it back, but obviously we don't. And Hephaestus, we have a little bit before we get to the main quest, so if you have a couple more donations over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, we just got a big one, $1,000 from Ezekiel III.
Yo.
Wow! Oh, that's awesome.
And Ezekiel III says, I saw that my favorite game of my favorite series, BioShock, was being run, and I knew this was the time. Thank you to all the runners and volunteers for keeping me entertained this week. It's always my favorite event of the year, and I make the choice to donate every year because, as Andrew Ryan said, a man chooses, a slave obeys. Money goes to control Ashtray Maze.
Yes! Yeah, do that. Sorry, I'm biased.
If anyone donates runner's choice, that's actually my choice.
Aw, BT, you're
That's
sweet.
sweet.
I really want to see it, man. All right, so we're going to go in here, and there's to progress the quest, we need this door to start opening. And there's actually a trigger at the end of this message, so we're going to play it and then immediately skip it because we don't want to listen to it. So while that's going, we're going to set a couple things up. Grab a grenade, grab this lockbox. So we're going to set up a boost for much later. Just going to drop that right there, move this body out of the way. So this is where the grenades come in play. We want quite a few because we're going to take down 2 more big daddies in the area and kind of just use it to get splicers out of the way. So as soon as this opens, we're going to get the blast. Try to kill this one off. A little lag.
That lag always comes at the weirdest time,
Yeah,
too.
it's when you least expect it. So I put down some fire because there's 2 different spider splicers, also some fish just hanging out here.
They're vibing.
Yeah, clap for the face. I love it. Oh,
That splicer just took the entire grenade to the face.
I love the quick swap strat.
Yeah, so there's a few different weapons where that works. The shotgun, the grenade launcher, the crossbow. Because they have a small reload animation between each shot, you can just swap to your plasmids and back.
Right.
Instead of actually having to wait for it. So that's, you gotta find the second Big Daddy. You can spawn in a couple different.
Hello.
There we go.
She really wants to die. So you have to be a little careful with shooting at the Big Daddies because if they're interacting with the little sisters, they won't take any damage. So you don't want to waste your grenades. So there's one thing we picked up off of Peach, which was an auto hack dart. Or just an auto hack tool. So we can get through this without having to remember any codes, which is great. And because this whole area is trapped, I just pick up a body to kind of just take it for me. I'll pick up some nitroglycerin. So we need to build an EMP bomb. It's a little dangerous, but I'll bring this with us too. The reason we kill the Big Daddies is they have a wire cluster on their body. And we're gonna need 4 of those. So there's already 2 bodies around the area, and we get the other 2 from the 2 Big Daddies we killed. So we're gonna go down here, pick up the quest, once again from another diary. Play it and skip it, and then we're gonna do a respawn glitch over here in the corner. And luckily for us, Hephaestus has like the perfect Vita chamber to get to everything that we possibly need.
Oh, that is perfect.
So we go right back up here, take out that splicer, and we're gonna set up another fling this way. She's crying, it's a little sad. But,
Wait, are you just gonna leave her?
She's just in awe of the run.
Oh my god.
so we don't actually need the add-on, so she just gets to live. Perfectly fine.
Okay.
But she won't live well.
Until the end of the game, where we're free ammo. So there's our next set of wire clusters. And we're going to go all the way back to the Vita chamber we just came from by doing a respawn glitch at the top here. Those spider splicers are still alive. All right, we have to remember that for when we go back through here. So the thing with setting up flings is you kind of want the item to be in the direction that you want to face. So napalm can be a little bit tricky. I know a lot of people like to use the machine gun rounds, but those are awful. You should never, ever use them.
That's
now
one hot take. It's style.
all we have to do is grab 2 more wire clusters, which are the 2 Big Daddies we left down in the bottom area, and this can of ionic gel. The fast way down. So this part, we can start building the bomb. And then we're going to do another respawn glitch to get back up to place the bomb. So, quick. And every time you go into a new level, you have basically one set of invincibility frames. So if you get down to like 1 HP, you won't take any more damage for a while. But if you've done that once already, and you get down to 1 HP, it'll just kill you straight off. So you kind of have to keep that in mind if you take a lot of damage. We're going to fling up on this rock, jump on top of whatever this thing, and jump through the core, and skip having to raise this up.
Oh, that's sick.
Doing some quest that I kind of forget called, but we do another respawn glitch, get back up, because as I said before, the game really likes to be like, hey, here's the exit to a level, or here's the quest, go do all this other stuff and come back. So the quest exit, the level exit is at the very beginning of the map. Shouts to the fish again.
Very calm.
We're just going to get back through here, try to go for this boost, see what happens. Let's try it again. Got
Nice.
a little bit.
Okay, very
Nothing amazing, but it works. So we're now going to go say what's up to Andrew Ryan. Got time for a quick donation over there.
All right, sounds great. Well, we have $10 from Dissidents383 that says, "Fuel for the run."
Thank you so much, Distance. So once again, we just do a little diary skip to get past the exit there, and we're going to start abusing it in the opposite way now. So we're going to trigger Hephaestus to load, which is the level we just came from, by playing a radio message, which is NPC dialogue that the game thinks is important. So it's like, oh, you want to go to Hephaestus? Well, you just have to wait until it's done. And this area is going to go on lockdown, meaning there's an invisible wall we have to jump over by getting on this vending machine. Easy as that.
Nice.
So this whole time, just keep in the back of your mind that the game wants us to go to Hephaestus and not meet Angie Ryan. It kind of makes a little magic trick. But we need to also open this door. So I need to be careful not to play a diary, or we will warp out. So the door is open. Let's get past more dialogue. Don't blink, because you might miss Andrew Ryan. Goodbye. So you may be thinking, like, why are we going back to the level we just came from? We do actually have to go say hello to Andrew Ryan again, but he has two parts to his cutscene, and this is the way to skip the first, so we can go straight into the second one. So his bots are really ready to shoot me. So now we're going back into RCC, and this is really the only trick I'm actually worried about because of the FPS that we mentioned before. Most flings, it doesn't matter how high you go. You can usually live or do whatever you need. But this one has a ceiling that if you have pretty high FPS, you're more than likely to hit. So
Good luck, dude.
what happens.
Yeah, when he entered that cutscene, a gate closes behind him, so now he has to get over that gate.
Yeah. So right now, Andrew Ryan's just waiting for us to go into the second part of the cutscene. But you're not supposed to leave that area. As he just said, there's a gate that we now have to get over. So we have to go through this little gap. Nice filled goal. So we're going to set this up.
Overall, though, this thing stays about, I think, 8 minutes or so.
Wow.
It's Andrew Ryan talks a lot.
It's true.
First try.
Nice.
Wow.
So to skip the second part, we're going to save and then do a load. And I need to be kind of careful with the timing because some weird stuff can happen. So he wants us to start going through this. And he's a little weird. So we're going to go over here and just put in the key that we're supposed to get off of his dead body. But,
Wait.
no, it's fine. It's fine. We planned this.
You? Oh my God.
We're actually playing. We're playing Skyrim. No, okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry, tech crew. So,
I don't even know what to say to you right now, dude.
So,
What is he doing?
I'm so sorry, tech crew. So he's still going through his little cutscene. There's one little thing I want to show off with this. Usually he gives you the club and you're supposed to kill him. And a lot of people think you can only use your plasmids or your melee weapons, but no, we have both. We can actually just put this on our other guns too. So a little fun thing you can do. Yeah, and he's just kind of
He's getting into a fight.
But we have to follow the little sisters and go into the last part of the game.
I can't believe he did that. He kept talking about he had a surprise.
He did.
Was that, dude?
For the record, none of them knew about it.
No.
Even when I was doing practice, I didn't show that off at all. So.
He would literally stop at Hephaestus. He was like, that was it.
So now that Andrew Ryan is no longer with us, Fontaine reveals himself as the bad guy, and he's like, "Oh, I've been controlling you this whole time. You're a 3-year-old genetic super mutant baby." The lore gets really weird.
Yeah.
Just really good.
Really good.
You're playing as an actual 3-year-old, though.
Yeah. So Tenenbaum's going to help us remove the coding from our head. So we're going to skip past a couple things of dialogue here using diary messages. I'm going to steal some candy from a child because it's really
Still
easy.
laughing about that. I'm sorry.
Same.
And because this kind of takes a while for them to get going, we have time for a couple donations with
Great.
family.
Yeah, sounds good, BT. We have $50 from Lifelike
Hey.
that says, instead of BioShock, what if there was a game called Cabbage Shock? You play as genetically enhanced cabbage stuck underwater.
Shout out to Lifelike.
We also have $10 from Thor Cat that says, go BloodThunder, love from your cat.
Aw.
So I'm pretty sure that's my mom donating. So
Aw.
shout out to my mom.
Shout out to BT's mom. Hell yeah.
Stays up every time I do a run.
That's so cute. That's wholesome.
And they never read her donations, so I'm glad that happened. So yeah, the little sisters are the only ones that can open these doors. It's really poorly designed. That Rapture has so many doors that only little sisters can open. But now that they're open, we can continue on. And Frank Fontaine, who was Atlas, big twist. He gets real aggressive and tells us to go get stepped on by a big daddy. It's kind of rude. And we're not going to do it. So let's crouch under here real quick. And once again, this level is going to tease us with the next map really early on. You're like, oh, go get the first dose of Lot 192, which is the item you need to remove the control. So once again, we're going to let radio messages play and hit the trigger for the next map. So right now, the game wants to load in. But as long as we keep radio messages playing, and we're actually going to play a really long message here, the game won't let that happen. So as soon as we're done with what we're doing, we can just warp straight away, skip having to walk. Get that crossbow.
It's awesome.
And luckily here he talks for infinite, so it gives us enough time to get across the level to get what we need, and then we can play another diary when we're ready to leave.
Nice. Because that message is so long, by the time we've gotten over here, where we have to do some other diary skip nonsense, we've hit a whole bunch of triggers that will then continue the quest line.
As a note, though, the next diary is actually one of the most important in the game, because if you mess this up, you will go back to Apollo Square.
So we're going to play a diary, which has the trigger for the next part of the quest, but we need to play a radio message, because once again, if I just let that play, we would warp back. So to get that trigger, we have to play it and skip it without leaving the inventory, and then hopefully I can remember this code. It's pretty easy.
It's like 5744. Look at me, dude.
I'm smart. Can I get a high five? Hell yeah. So usually alarms are kind of sketchy in this area, but only if you get it in this next room. So we already have an alarm, it doesn't matter. But if the camera up here happens to catch you, it'll lock this door until you either clear it or pay money to clear it. So luckily we don't have to deal with that. Once again, splicers are going to follow us. We're just going to hit the floor with incinerate.
Whoa.
Look at this. This great bear. So aggressive.
Bears are the best animal. They're so cool.
I'm kind of a fan of fish at this point. So here's
Hello.
Here's the Lot 192. A little bit more lag, and then once we have that, another magic trick where we just warp away.
That's awesome. That's rad.
A side effect of the Lot 192, because people get really confused, when we load in and we have Winter Blast, or I guess Security Bullseye, I know Winter Blast here in a second. So we didn't pick that up, and we also don't have our Incinerate and Telekinesis anymore, but the Lot 192 triggers an effect where, a little boost off that, nice. The game will just give you random plasmids. It's not random every run, but there is a sequence. Get some extra.
How do those boosts work? Is it just like weird collision or?
It's based on the collision checking, and if the item is close enough to the wall, you can kind of collide like close enough with the wall, so you're just kind of smushed in between them, and then it tries to correct you, and you can jump at the same time, and it will just push you out.
And some walls are like angled a certain way where you don't even need an item. You can just kind of run into it.
Gotcha.
Place down a target dummy, so we lost our Winter Blast. This is going to keep the enemies off of us. And there's a really cool thing of target dummy that helps out in the run. We can actually...
There we go.
We can place it in front of a door and it's going to start opening it for us, which is really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a little small mechanic that's not useful for most players, but for us, it's very nice just to have the door open and waiting. So here's our second dose, and it's going to clear off the random plasmids and give us the 2 that we want back. We die on top of this drill, which is, I believe, Suchong's body.
It is Suchong's body,
Yeah.
yes.
It's going to do a respawn glitch and get us a little closer to the exit, and then we can just run all the way to the end of this map. So would you kindly read some more donations?
Yeah, certainly. Well, off on that note, we have $500 from Star Mannequin.
Shout outs to you.
And they have to say, would you kindly keep those donations coming?
Nice.
We also have $50 from Rogue Dark Jedi that says, what's up, GDQ? Had to donate while BT running BioShock. Good to see you here again. Cheers from the Cabbage Squad.
Thank you, RDJ. So we're going to jump down this elevator shaft.
Oh.
You can only do this on easy. It saves about 7 seconds. If you're playing on medium or hard, the fall damage is just too much and it'll kill you straight off. So we picked up a couple extra med kits along the way. Now we can just go ahead and end this map. Coming up in Point Prometheus, which is the next map we're going to, is a very infamous skip if anyone's ever watched the BioShock speedrun before. But luckily, Fontaine is really, really nice. Not only does he say would you kindly a lot, but gives you a lot of different chances. So we'll see what happens. He's also now spliced up. He's been clean for a while, but now he's super strong.
You looking to slug it out? I'm game, but I got all the atom in the city, pal. And I ain't shy about
He's been lifting.
I'm Jake to take her
But he's just going to run away.
What is this you wait for? Go and get this idiot!
Tenenbaum's dialogue there. It's every time.
Now go find Suchong's lab.
So we're basically just going to follow him up here.
No doubt there will
And
be
once
more.
again, the game does this a lot. It's going to show us the exit. But generally, he's going to run away and be like, hey, you can't catch me, and you have to go become a big daddy so that you can get a little sister, and she opens the doors. So we kind of talked about how inefficient some of the areas are with their doors. So we can kill off the robots to make this a little nicer to set up. And this is last chance get skip. So we're going to save in case we don't get it.
last chance, kid.
We're going to make it to the door before it closes. First try.
Close, dude.
You'll quickly learn why this is called Last Chance, kid.
I think I already know.
Last chance. Last chance, kid. You pack it in now.
Good.
So here he has to actually prevent the game from locking him in place by jumping over the thing that locks him in place.
This looks really hard.
It is. If you get first try, really like the first one usually kind of gives you a little bit more momentum, and then the later ones could be a bit tougher just to kind of get that root position.
Last chance, kid.
And this skip, I mean, I would imagine just based on the casual playthrough would save. There we go. Nice.
Awesome. He just disappears.
That has to save like a lot of minutes. So that
Yeah.
skips-
The entire quest of becoming like a big daddy where you pick up all the suit parts and
It's like
go around
5
with
item
sisters.
grabs.
Yeah.
It's pretty long. So this is everyone's favorite part of the game. It's where you basically just escort a little sister on the map. But
How much effort has been put into finding a skip for this level? Because I would imagine like
I
it's such a bottleneck, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of theories, but because we need the little sister to open the doors, there's not really any way without just physically clipping through walls.
Wow.
And this game's pretty good about not letting you out of bounds. And when you can get out of bounds, even then it's not useful, as you may have realized we haven't gone outside the map at all.
Right.
So I'm actually running back into this door because it's to manipulate her to run. Little sisters can either walk or run, and if they walk, it is really, really slow. So we want her to run at basically every second that she can. Every now and then she's going to pause to hit checkpoints on the floor, which is very important. Because if you get into a fight and start taking damage, she's going to run to you, and those checkpoints don't get counted. So right there's a checkpoint for her. She'll keep running. We never want her to actually run to us. We just want her to run to the next body. We're coming up on the first of the 3 bodies. So we're going to kill off the splicer. And we're basically just going to use telekinesis for all of this. Because, as we mentioned before, telekinesis is incredibly broken and it one-shots everything. So we're going to skip this dialogue. Go through a couple waves of splicers. There's going to be a mixture of lead heads and thuggish splicers, which some use pipes and wrenches and some use guns. And once we see a spider splicer, that is the last enemy that we need to kill off. Go for what's known as a little sister warp, which actually does save a little bit of time.
Are there spawn points RNG?
Sort of. You can somewhat manipulate them by where you're looking. So here's the spider splicer. Once he's dead, we're going to actually start taking damage. So this is the one instance we want her to run to us. And now she's following us. We're going to run down here and stop right at the ends, and she should be right behind us on a checkpoint.
Nice.
There we go.
That's very difficult.
Oh, really? Oh, rad. Okay, nice.
There's a couple more that we could go for, but they are way harder and save way less time, so we're probably just going to ignore it for now. I'm going to place down some proxy mines so I don't have to cover this side of the body at all, and we're just going to focus on the other. Sometimes the splicers like to spawn in the spot you're not looking, so if we just look here the entire time, they would spawn that way, for instance. So we're
Gotcha.
going to look over here. So you can sort of manipulate them, but it's not 100% consistent. Just a little unfortunate. So otherwise, you can just place down a whole bunch of proxy mines and not have to worry about it.
You know, 3 of those blew up.
It looks like it. But here's the spider splicer, and he's done. Woo. It's so satisfying just to...
So weird how the physics are run at a different frame, or like the ragdoll runs at a different frame rate.
I don't know if frame rate affects it at all, but let's see. So we're going to make her just keep on running. I'm actually going to switch over to frag grenades for the next section. It's very important. You get out in front here. She should be running. And because I usually pick up on little small details that ruin games for everybody if you have OCD, it happens with every speedrun I do. If you take a look at the weapons crosshair, the very center dot, most of them are accurate, but if we spin them real fast, you can see that the camera is actually not centered at all.
Thank you.
So next time you use the camera, just think about how it's not centered. So we use the grenade to kill off those 3 splicers in the water because they pop up all at the same time. And if they start fighting you, she's going to run to you, so you don't want that. She's making her way downtown. I love it. She's coming up on the 3rd body. And pretty much home free after that. Just have to get her over here. So while this fight's going on, would you kindly read a couple more donations?
Yeah, absolutely. We have tons of love coming in for this run in UBT, especially.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have $5 from Jericho173 that says, shout out to Fish Fox Neuro in Twitch chat, gifting over 100 subs for the amazing BioShock troll.
That's
and
awesome.
5,000% high range. We also have $50 from Brief Warden that says, Blue Screen Troll earned $50. Well played, BT.
And just so everyone's aware, because people still have comment on the last time I did this at a GDQ, it was a cutscene edit. It didn't actually blue screen. It wasn't actually Skyrim. A little modding that happened.
Very easy to confuse.
I still get comments every day about it. So she's running. This is what we like to call the Kool-Aid Man fight. We just bust in.
Oh, yeah.
So as we use the trap bolts and just hot swap real quick.
That's awesome. I found that independently in like my recent casual playthrough of this game.
That's not part of the lore. Can you do that? Yeah. So the reason we can't skip any of this is because she has to open the final doors for us. So we could actually get to this platform because that's where we came in. That's where we started. We could just do a couple flings over those walls and a fling up here. But she has to open this for us. So in the meantime, we're gonna go here and grab her little pet. You know, it's nice.
Oh no.
What? I think she's earned a pet. We're gonna make sure we give it a bath. The thing is, if you're gonna have a pet, you gotta take care of it. You know, you don't want to be like your favorite Twitch streamer and just throw it around. So we're gonna make sure she takes it with her.
Oh my god.
We're gonna live happily ever after. You know, she doesn't have a big daddy anymore, but she has a cat. So. All right, so that's the last main level. We're gonna go deal with Fontaine now. Just a little bit of a jerk, but he's not too bad. At this point, he's gone full splicer, and he's just hulked up. We're still a Big Daddy, so we never actually got the Big Daddy suit. The game's like, oh, you did it, so here you go. Here's this nice overlay for you to enjoy. So just gonna make sure everything's kind of reloaded. We only really need the proxy mines and one other weapon. I like to use stole tip bolts. Some people use regular grenades. It's just kind of a little different. So we're gonna wait for this to go up. It's gonna make a hard save for us, and then we're gonna do a little fight, a little dance with the devil, if you will.
Sorry.
So another thing I'd like to point out that kind of ruins things, usually when you stab Fontaine, he has like an animation of moving around, but the first time he doesn't, so you're just like dragging, but usually, you're just dragging a needle around through his chest, and it looks really, really painful. So 3 proxy mines is enough for 1 wave.
Oh, that's sick.
So we're gonna use that to clear off his first 2 waves, and then much like the Kool-Aid main fight we did earlier, we're just going to hot swap the crossbow and take down his 3rd phase.
Wow.
These phasers are actually supposed to be like themed, like he's ice in one and fire in another, so you're supposed to use corresponding plasmids and weapons and a whole lot of stuff that I'm sure is in the lore and it's great, but we don't have time for that. So time's coming up here. Just a second, and time.
Nice.
Great run.
49.59, dude.
I didn't go over estimate?
No. Sub 50.
Starting a trend. So now the little sisters come out of the woodwork. So like, oh, he helped us, he saved us, he gave us cats, and
I can't believe you beat me.
if you're afraid of needles, don't watch this part.
Oh, yeah, this part's gnarly.
Yeah.
I was like, he looks like an Oscar statue.
Yeah.
He's not a handsome Squidward.
And it's okay if you make fun of the lore for this part, because everybody knows this is the worst part of the game. So
Just getting stabbed to death.
it's just this whole boss fight. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, the last third of the game is kind of all over the place. But yeah, we get the good ending. Everyone
Yay.
lives happily ever after.
Thanks, goodness.
If you like BioShock, be sure to follow me over on Twitch. Actually, I have a BioShock glitchless anthology run to do when I get home because my community was so kind to help me get here.
Yeah.
And getting a whole lot of challenge runs in. So if you want to see a no plasmid run where we literally don't pick up a single plasmid, you just hop over there, follow me, and then when I go live, check me out.
Seriously, do that. His streams are dope. I hang out there all the time.
Be sure to stay tuned for Wolfenstein Youngblood, which I'm going to be on couch for. It's going to be super hype. It's an awesome run. And thank you so much to GDQ for having me back. Hopefully I'll be back again. So
Chance.
thanks for hanging out.
A chance to